which we have taken as the last module. It is Cloud Economics and Billing. So here, the topics which we'll be covering are fundamentals of pricing, low cost ownership, total cost of ownership, AWS organizations, AWS billing and cost management, technical support, pricing calculator, etc. Now, there are certain questions in certification which comes out of it. And we have to mug up them because these are not conceptual questions. They are kind of, because it is related to billing, etc. So we have to take it as it is. Okay. Conceptually, we have done already whatever was there in different modules. So here, after completing this module, you will be able to explain the AWS pricing philosophy. We will recognize fundamental pricing characteristics, indicate the elements of total cost of ownership, okay, which is also called as TCO, discuss the results of pricing calculator, identify how to set up an organizational structure. Now, organizational structure means you may have different AWS root accounts, right? If there is a bigger organization, maybe say in sales domain, you have one AWS root account. In maybe finance domain, you have another AWS root account. And so on. Maybe say you have 5 different root accounts in different departments, the bigger department in your organization, and you are getting different billings. So what you can do is you can create an organizational structure and you can go for a consolidated billing. So that also we'll see. We will identify the functionality in AWS billing dashboard, cost explorer, budgets, usage reports, etc. AWS technical support. So all these things that we have to see here. So first is fundamentals of pricing. Now, whenever we have an account, merely having account, you don't get a bill. Suppose you have account and you are doing nothing. So if you are doing nothing, you will not get any bill. But there are these 3 different areas which constitutes the billing. Supposingly, you have a compute engine running. Maybe few of EC2 compute engine running. So running of those compute engine will cost you a recurring cost, which will be, in the case of Windows, it will be hourly basis. In the case of Linux, second basis. So Linux is more flexible, whereas Windows, if your number of hours shoot up by few seconds, if you go to the next hour, it will charge for the next hour. So that is there. And it also varies on instance type. I told you that T2, T3 nano, T3 micro, T2 large, and all those kind of compute instance type you have. So depending upon your compute structure, you will get a billing. So that is related to compute. Then in these also you have, on one side you have instance on the basis of the nano, micro, medium, large. On other category you have instance like spot instance, on demand instance, reserve instance. So on the basis of the type of nature of your instance, that is either spot, reserve, or on demand, you get the billing, right? So are you able to see this fifth slide, everybody? Somebody confirm me. Is the fifth slide visible to everybody? Somebody confirm me. Hello. Okay, so I'll move forward. Storage, you are charged per GB. That means you have some storage buckets, and in those storage buckets, you have some data. So on the basis of storing data, you are charged. Third type of charge is the data transfer. Outbound data is charged. Inbound data, barring some exception, is not charged. Okay. That means somebody is visiting my website, it is not charged. But if somebody is downloading something from my site or visiting site and there is some outbound flow of data, then it will be charged. That is also typically charged per GB. Then there is a structure which is very good, which is called as pay for what you use. So that is one philosophy. जो आप यूज कर रहे हैं उसका ही पैसा दे रहे हैं. जैसे मैंने बताया, if nothing is used in your account, no charge will come to your account. Merely keeping an account will not charge you. As you start using some instance, using some data flow, storing something, it will start charging you. Pay less when you reserve. As I told you, if you have a reserve instance, then you will pay for that that means in a discounted way. Pay less when you use more and as AWS grows. Means if number of regions, availability of services grows, AWS will start charging little lesser for what it was charging earlier. So that is the advantage. Pay for what you use. So what happens is, if you have a data center at your end, always there will be an increase in your cost. Because what will you do? You will again and again add some hardware to it. You will go on increasing your infrastructure. So cost of buying infrastructure, cost of keeping that infrastructure cooling, keeping people there, and maintaining those things, it will every time it will increase your expenses. On the other hand, in AWS, depending upon your load, it will cost you. If you have lesser usage, lesser will be cost. If at some instance usage is going high, it will cost you high, and then back to normal. So that is the advantage. Pay less when you reserve. That means if you have a reserve instance, so you can see here, I told you earlier, you have type of instance where you have on-demand instance, which is costliest, मतलब सबसे महंगी ऑन डिमांड इंस्टेंस होती है कि आपने अचानक से EC2 टू इंस्टेंस खड़ी कर दी और आप उसको यूज करने लग गए. सो दिस इज द कॉस्टलीस्ट. ऐसा मतलब नहीं कि बहुत महंगा हो जाएगा, मतलब सस्ता तो सभी है, उसमें उस सस्ते में सबसे महंगा. ठीक है ना. देन यू हैव नूरी. नूरी मीन्स यू हैव no upfront payment. You are not paying anything when you are starting it. You are reserving it, but not paying at the start of reserve. Okay. So it is little cheaper than on demand. Puri, partial upfront reserve payment. You are reserving your instance. Partially you are paying something at start. Ori, all upfront payment. So it is cheapest, but there is one more type of instance which is called as a spot instance, where AWS has rights to terminate and take those instances. So that is a different kind of instance. These instances, whether it is on demand, Nuri, Puri or Ori, all these AWS will never touch until and unless you are terminating these instances. Okay. So other than this, you have spot instance. Maybe it will come in the next slide. Okay. So here again in the storage, saving as you increase. That means if you have a bigger bucket, then you will save while storing. Third is, if year by year AWS is reducing its cost for the services because it is growing, so that is advantage you get. Custom pricing. So what you do, you go for your requirement and you create infrastructure accordingly, so you get a custom pricing. So what you do is, it is a better idea that start from a free tier. 1 year, try to get accustomed to the cloud usage. Then when you, in a year, you get accustomed to using the different kind of resources, then slowly, you can move to the billing portion. And there are certain services where you don't have any charges, like VPC. If you create hundreds of VPC in your account, you don't get any charge. Beanstalk. Creating Beanstalk is having no charges, but in the Beanstalk, if you have any EC2 instance running and storage bucket is there, then for those EC2 instance which are supporting your Beanstalk and storage supporting your Beanstalk and compute engine supporting your Beanstalk, there you will have charge. In the similar way, auto scaling feature don't have any charge, but with the help of auto scaling, your instance are coming up and going down. So till those instances are running, so you get charge. Cloud formation. Creating a script for infrastructure as code have no charge, but with the help of that script, if you have created some infrastructure and there are some compute, storage and other kind of facility, then those will be charged. IAM, Identity Access Management configuration, has no charge. So you can see this was the summary. Then we come to TCO. In the traditional on-premises data center, you have equipments, you have contracts, you have cost, you have people who administer it. If you compare this with cloud, straight away you can go global without expending without any expense on your infrastructure. Only recurring expenses will be there. TCO is a financial estimate to help indirect, direct and indirect cost of the system. That means if I am a company and presently I am having my on-premises data center, I want to migrate fully or migrate partially to the cloud. Depending upon my requirement, I can calculate my total cost of ownership in the cloud. So TCO is required that if you are running these services at your on-premises data center, and if you start using cloud for with the help of the okay. So this I told you. Now you can see here what are TCO considerations. The TCO consideration are server cost. That means if you have on-premises data center, you will require facility cost, space, power, cooling. Okay. मतलब आपके पास आपका खुद का डेटा सेंटर अगर है तो आपको खर्चा लगेगा फैसिलिटी क्रिएट करने में, जगह लगेगी, उसका खर्चा तो लगेगा, बिजली का खर्चा लगेगा, और कूलिंग टावर बनाओगे जिसके अंदर सर्वर रखोगे उसका खर्चा लगेगा. ठीक है. इन द सिमिलर वे स्टोरेज कॉस्ट, आप जो है नंबर ऑफ हार्ड डिस्क लगाओगे, एसएसडी ड्राइव्स लगाओगे, स्पेस, पावर, कूलिंग उनको दोगे. नेटवर्क कॉस्ट, लाओगे उसके कनेक्ट और भी इक्विपमेंट्स जो लगेंगे, कनेक्टिंग इक्विपमेंट्स वो लाओगे. आईटी लेबर कॉस्ट लाओगे, मतलब जितना भी ये सब इसको कुछ लेबर आएगा जो उस समय काम करेगा इंस्टॉलेशन के समय, और कुछ लोग बाग रहेंगे जो आपके रिकरिंग चलते रहेंगे ये सब देखने के लिए. आपका बच जाता है अगर आप क्लाउड माइग्रेट करते हो. तो यू कैन सी देयर इज वन केस स्टडी. एक कंपनी को ऑन प्रेमाइसिस में उसको इतना लग रहा था AWS में इतना लगा, स्टोरेज में इतना लग रहा था AWS में, और ये क्या लगा, दिस वाज रनिंग कॉस्ट फॉर EC, रनिंग कॉस्ट फॉर स्टोरेज बकेट्स। नेटवर्किंग में कोई कॉस्ट नहीं लगनी, IT लेबर कंपैरेबल नहीं है, ठीक है ना। तो टोटल सेविंग कितनी हो गई 3 साल में, इतनी ज्यादा ह्यूज सेविंग। तो आपको यहां ध्यान नहीं लगाना पड़ता सर्वर स्टोरेज और उसमें, तो आप अपने बिजनेस पे ध्यान लगाते हो, दिस इज द एडवांटेज। सो यू हैव अ प्राइसिंग कैलकुलेटर विच आइडेंटिफाई योर कॉस्ट, so you can break your estimate into total 12 months with upfront and monthly costs, and you can calculate your saving. So there are some hard benefits and there are some soft benefits. Hard benefits are, you are saving on compute, storage and networking and security. Reduction in hardware software purchases. Okay, this is capital expenses. You are initially using some capital amount to purchase these things, which is not required in cloud. Operational cost कम हो जाती है, डिजास्टर रिकवरी का काम AWS देखता है, ऑपरेशनल पर्सन्स कम हो जाते हैं, आपको केवल कुछ क्लाउड पर्सन्स रखने हैं जो बैठ के काम करेंगे, और बाकी जो आपके एज इट इज जो डेवलपर्स हैं और जो दूसरे टेस्टर्स हैं वो एज इट इज काम करेंगे। लेकिन आपका पूरा उतना लेबर जो वहाँ नेटवर्किंग देखता है, नेटवर्किंग मेंटेनेंस देखता है, आपके सर्वर वगैरह देखता है, सर्वर परचेज के लिए पूरी टीम है, वो सब एनालाइज करती है कौन सा पुराना हो गया, वो सब की जरूरत नहीं है। सॉफ्ट बेनिफिट्स आर reuse of service and application that enables you to define by using same cloud service। मतलब आप जब सीख जाते हैं तो क्लाउड के अंदर ही पहले आप क्लाउड को यूज करने का तरीका आपका कुछ और रहता है, बाद में वो बदल जाता है। हो सकता है पहले आप सर्वर बेस्ड कुछ एप्लीकेशन बना के काम कर रहे हैं, फिर आपको रियलाइज होता है कि बहुत सारे ऐसे काम हैं जो सर्विस से आप कर सकते हैं, जहां पर केवल आपको फंक्शन वहां पर सप्लाई करने हैं और फंक्शन की इवेंट के बेस पे वो फंक्शन रन होंगे, तो आपको सर्वर प्रोविजनिंग करनी ही नहीं है। तो यू हैव सेव्ड योर अमाउंट, क्योंकि लैम्डा जो है वैसे कोई पैसे नहीं लेता, और बहुत सारे आपके सर फंक्शन एग्जीक्यूशन फ्री होते हैं, उसके ऊपर चार्ज लगता है। तो डिपेंडिंग अपॉन आपका यूज करने के तरीके पे भी आप पैसा बचाते हो। डेवलपर प्रोडक्टिविटी बढ़ हेलो, सो व्हाट आई वाज सेइंग इज दैट डेवलपर की प्रोडक्टिविटी कैसे बढ़ती है, कई केस में उसको ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम पैचिंग की जरूरत नहीं, क्योंकि प्रोविजन सर्विस है। जैसे बीन स्टॉक है, बीन स्टॉक में आपको पूरा एनवायरनमेंट बना बनाया मिलता है, आपको केवल अपने कोडिंग पे ध्यान देना है। कस्टमर सेटिस्फेक्शन बढ़ता है क्योंकि अवेलेबिलिटी, लेटेंसी, बहुत सारी चीजें बढ़ जाती हैं, मतलब लेटेंसी नहीं रहती है, अवेलेबिलिटी बढ़ जाती है, और डाउन टाइम नहीं रहता, बहुत सारी चीजें ईज हो जाती हैं डेवलपर के लिए। एजाइल बिजनेस प्रोसेसेस हो जाती हैं, इंक्रीज ग्लोबल रीच हो जाती है, ठीक है ना। So this is a case study. So how much they have saved, that it is showing you. You can see starting में huge saving हुई, क्योंकि उन्होंने जो भी कैपेक्स लगाया था, मतलब कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर था फॉर वो, फिर मतलब वो अगर 5 साल अपने ऑन प्रमाइसिस पे चलाते तो उनकी कितनी कॉस्टिंग आती, और वो इस पे चला रहे तो उनकी कॉस्टिंग कैसी आ रही। सो रिसोर्स ऑप्टिमाइजेशन मिल रहा है, स्पीड टू मार्केट मिल रहा है, ऑपरेशनल एफिशिएंसी मिल रही है। देन वी कम टू ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज अ सर्विस। आप जैसे देख पा रहे हैं यहां पर स्क्रीन में, ये डिफरेंट रूट अकाउंट्स आर क्लब टू ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल रूट अकाउंट। So you can see that you have different AWS accounts and they are clubbed to a single root account, and you have some policies which are governing on those accounts. So you have a policy based account management, group based account management, application programming interface that automate account management. So the advantage is control access with AWS identity management, IAM. With the help of IAM, you are governing all your account. So you create organizational unit, service control policy, and test restrictions. So there are some limits. So how you can go for those limits? They are given here. So in AWS organization, you have a management console, CLI, SDK. With the help of these, you can manage it. Billing and cost management, it is also a service which tells you whenever you आपका एक महीना निकल जाता है तो आपको बताता है कि कौन सी सर्विस पे आपने कितना खर्च किया। तो आपको आइडिया लगता है कि मेरा खर्चा किस में ज्यादा हो रहा है, तो आप उसको देखकर कम ज्यादा भी कर सकते हो कि फालतू में कोई चीजें चल रही हैं तो मैं उसको कैसे कम कर सकूं। So that you can see. You have a service called as budgets, usage report explorer. So it gives you the bills. Cost explorer give you the cost exploration. Budgets will give you कि आगे कैसे होगा. Reports बताती है आपको कि आपने कब किस में कैसे खर्च किया. Billing dashboard demo, ये आप देख सकते हैं, आप अपने अकाउंट पे खुद भी देख सकते हैं ये, ठीक है ना. टेक्निकल रिपोर्ट, टेक्निकल सपोर्ट. Nature of your AWS account, you get different type of these supports. So there is a technical account manager जो proactive guidance देता है, trusted advisor है, support concierge है. There are different type of support, basic support जो कि सभी को मिलता है, developer support, support for early development, business support, production workload, and last is the support where you have mission critical workloads. So depending upon the nature of business plan, you get a turnaround time for your support. So this was the last unit, और मैं कहना चाहूंगा आप सभी से कि what you have to do is